Adam Sandler is back, everybody, and he's never been better than. Nah, he's still the same. Despite the joke I made at the beginning of this video, I actually did have a lot of fun watching this movie, Hotel Transylvania 2. It's just, see, I have this theory that Adam Sandler, when he does live action, he looks dead inside. He looks like he doesn't care anymore, and it really just shows in his humor. But when he does voice acting, it's not as obvious. And people say that his humor is dying out, but when I watch Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison, I still think those movies are funny and I still really like them. So that makes me think his comedy is not getting old. It's just he's not doing it as well as he used to. But when he does voice acting, as in where you can't see his dead eyes, his just dead everything, it doesn't show as much. And that just makes it so much more enjoyable for everybody watching. For example, my biggest complaint about him in Pixels is that every time he delivered a joke, he looked like he wanted to cry while saying the joke. He was monotone about everything. He just looked sad at every moment of that movie. But in an animated movie, you could just make his character be all energetic and excited and dance around a bunch, which Dracula does do a lot in this movie. And even though it still has his relatively monotone voice, it's still funny and enjoyable, even if the joke is a little monotone. Adam Sandler should just stick to voice acting from now on, and nothing else until he takes an energy drink or something, because he really just he doesn't smile anymore. But back to Hotel Transylvania 2. It was honestly a good kids movie. It was pretty funny. I was laughing the entire way through, and there were a couple really just brilliant jokes that I died at. They were just so funny that I could not breathe for a good minute. And the voice acting was decent. Adam Sandler, like I said, he was actually, it felt like he had energy again, which is rare for him nowadays. Selena Gomez did fine. It's, as you probably could tell from the name Hotel Transylvania 2, it's a sequel to the original Hotel Transylvania. And it's basically after Mavis and red-haired guy who I honestly hate as a character for reasons I can't really get into or understand, frankly. They have a kid, and Dracula just wants him to become a monster, a vampire, because so far he hasn't gotten his fangs, and he's worried that if he's a human, they'll leave the hotel and Dracula will be all alone again. Oof. And these characters, everybody is likable. Even the redhead guy, who I just said I hate, I even found him moderately likable, at least more so than in the first movie. The kid was likable, the other kids were likable, all of Dracula's friends and Dracula himself were likable. It was just likable cast all around. That's so nice. I love it when that happens. It doesn't happen enough nowadays. It's just great. There's even this little subplot between the grandson and one of the daughters of the werewolf guy. They had this little mini romance going on. They it was adorable. It was so adorable. And at first they just hinted at it, but towards the end they elaborate on it. It was just one of the cutest things I've ever seen. It was so cute that I didn't even notice how creepy it was until later, and then I realized it was a dog person in a humanoid. But it was still adorable. I don't even care about that, and I usually care about that, so it means something. Doesn't matter if it's creepy as long as it's cute. I actually would not mind seeing another sequel to this movie as long as I could see that kid and that werewolf girl all growing up together. That's all I want to see. It could be a 10-second movie as long as I could see that. I see a lot of the reviews complaining about how it's cliche kids movie, a bunch of plot line that they've done before. But here's the thing. It is a kids movie. It is for kids who are fresh in the world. It doesn't matter if it's cliche, because to them, this is all new. This is something they've never seen before. Even if we, as adults who have lived much longer, have seen this many times before, this is fresh to them. This is brand new. And even then, I don't think it's that cliche, because at first glance, it seems pretty silly and random, but they do have this whole discrimination angle that you don't really see until you look further into it, and how they're trying to learn to accept each other, humans and monsters, even though they're both so different from each other. Like, some people have already, but there are still some people who are like, I'm not sure I'm okay with this. But in this movie they address that. It's pretty surprising because it is for kids. It really is, and it's pretty obviously for kids. That's all I really have to say about this movie. It was a fun movie. It may not be for everybody. Not every adult may like this. There is a lot of childish humor, but there's also a lot of, I feel, grown-up humor. Like, even the adults in the theater with me were having a lot of fun watching it, and I could tell. Is it better than the original movie, though? I do not know. If I had to say, I'd say they were same level. I've heard some people say that the sequel's better. I've heard some say that the original's better. I think they're kind of the same. I had a lot of fun watching both movies. I honestly feel it was worth the $10 I spent for the ticket to watch this movie. I had a lot of fun watching it. I'm glad I saw it. Remember though, guys, if you disagree with anything I said, remember to post it in the comments and maybe we could talk about it a bit more. I love hearing you guys' thoughts on movies I reviewed. Peace out.